Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going deep. I mean, literally, deep inside the walls of your home. We're going to look at one specific case that tells a universal story about that hidden network that keeps your house running. And, what happens when it all suddenly goes wrong. Ugh, it's the call every homeowner dreads, right? A sudden crisis that feels like it came out of nowhere, a complete bolt from the blue. But here's the thing. Is it really a surprise, or is it just the loud, messy conclusion to a story that's been unfolding silently for years? All right, let's start right there, at that moment of crisis. A burst pipe, a flooded basement, it feels like pure chaos. But believe it or not, there's actually a logic to the breakdown. And it usually starts with a question we've all asked in a moment of total panic. Well, the answer is almost never just bad luck. It's really about a long, slow battle. It's a fight between your home's infrastructure and a combination of powerful, unseen forces that have been constantly at work year after year. Now, to really understand these forces, we're going to zoom in on a specific case study, Cheektowaga, New York. You might wonder, why there? Well, its unique mix of climate, history, and even geology creates this perfect storm that really illustrates the threats that pipes are facing in homes everywhere. First up, the weather. In places like the Lake Erie snowbelt, that intense cold is a major enemy. See, when water inside a pipe freezes, it expands with this incredible Hulk-like force. Then, when it thaws, that stressed-out metal or plastic can develop cracks or just burst. This freeze-thaw cycle is just a relentless physical attack on your plumbing. Next, you've got history working against you. A huge number of homes, especially those built from the 1950s to the 1970s, are still using their original galvanized steel pipes. Now, after more than half a century, those pipes are literally corroding from the inside out, slowly choking off your water flow and just getting weaker by the day. And it's not just the weather or the pipes themselves. The very ground your house sits on can be an enemy. In areas with a lot of clay in the soil, the earth actually swells and shrinks with moisture. This constant movement puts this enormous unseen pressure on all those underground sewer and water lines, bending and stressing them until they finally crack. And this just illustrates the whole problem perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old tech. That internal corrosion isn't just ugly, it's literally squeezing the pipe's diameter shut over time. That's where low pressure comes from and why you might see rusty water. Now look to the right. Modern materials like copper and PAX are designed to resist all that decay, so they maintain the flow and just give you a much longer, safer lifespan. So here's the most crucial point. Catastrophic failures almost never happen without some kind of warning. Your home's plumbing system actually sends out signals, these subtle little clues that trouble is brewing long before a pipe ever bursts. The key is just knowing how to listen. This chart basically breaks down the secret language of your plumbing. That gurgling sound your toilet makes? That's not just a weird quirk. It's a sign that air is trapped in your drain lines, probably because of a blockage. That low water pressure that's so annoying, it's a classic symptom of those old galvanized pipes slowly closing up. Every one of these is a direct message from your home's hidden network. Okay, but what happens when you miss the signs and disaster strikes? When you have to make that frantic, middle-of-the-night call, a really well-defined professional process should immediately take over from all that chaos. A true emergency response is like a methodical three-step mission. It starts with immediate action, getting an expert on the way while helping you control the damage. Then it moves to a clear diagnosis and transparent pricing, so you are always in control. And finally, it ends with a verified permanent repair that gets your home back to normal. And in a water emergency, let me tell you, every single minute counts. A fast response isn't just about convenience. It's the critical factor that can separate a manageable repair from tens of thousands of dollars in water damage, mold remediation, and even structural problems. So how do we avoid having to make that 2 a.m. call in the first place? Well, the answer is a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about moving away from playing frantic, reactive defense and toward playing smart, proactive offense. This slide really lays out the two choices every homeowner has. The path on the right, emergency repair, is always stressful, it's expensive, and it happens at the worst possible time. But the path on the left, preventative maintenance, is scheduled, it's predictable, and it costs a fraction of an emergency call, both in dollars and in your peace of mind. It's an investment in stability. So, what's the key takeaway here? Being proactive is actually simple and totally actionable. As you can see, these aren't massive projects. We're talking about straightforward tasks, from cleaning drains and flushing a water heater to insulating some pipes. Simple annual checks like these can prevent the vast majority of plumbing nightmares before they ever get a chance to start. In the end, it really comes down to this. Those subtle drips, the faint gurgles, the slight drops in pressure, these aren't just random noises. They are the clear language of your home's most vital hidden network. And understanding that language, actually listening to what your home is telling you, is the ultimate key to keeping it safe, secure, and functioning for years and years to come.